Before the August gathering like this, after the speech, the presentation of so many learned people. But I'll try to give a different perspective to my presentation, the perspective of an academician, because I am here as an academician representing my university and of course addressing majority of Gen Z. Because in the morning, Mugdha ma'am spoke about all generations, starting with generation X, through millennials, through Gen Z, alpha, beta, though we don't have any alpha and beta here, but still Gen Z is the majority and of course very impactful if put in constructive manner. Okay, why we need to do SWOT analysis today for domestic tourism? I pick up the reason from the report of the Ministry of Tourism, once again constrained. These data are from 2023, published in 2024. If we look at the data, this data tells me that 10 top destinations for domestic tourism receives more than 87% of domestic tourists. 28 states, 8 union territories. In the morning also Mugdha ma'am mentioned 36. 28 states, 8 union territories, 36 in total. 10 receives 87% and remaining only 13%. If I further bifurcate the data, I find that zone-wise, South Zone gets the maximum 907.03 million domestic tourist visits. Remember, we call foreign tourist arrivals, but we call domestic tourist visits. So there is a bias. As a researcher, as a statistician, there is a bias. Never mind, but I am happy. South Zone gets 907.03 million, 36% of DTVs. North gets share is 830.60 million, next is 33%. The point is, where are we lacking? Why remaining states and union territories are not able to get their due share in spite of the statement given by Mark Twain? If you look at the Mark Twain statement, who said, "So far as I am able to judge, nothing has been left undone by man or nature to make India the most extraordinary country that sun visits on his rounds." In spite of this beautiful encompass, a beautiful picture, having all possible attractions, amenities, still we are not able to make it. There is a reason, and that reason is you and me. The reason is human-led. The reason is people-led. The reason is system-led. The reason is policy-led. We are probably not able to tap domestic tourism. We are still focusing our marketing. Mugdha ma'am says marketing should become inclusive part of my policy when it talks about implementation. I know I will not be able to complete my PPT, sir, but still I'll talk the practical problem. We have strengths. My fellow panelist, Mr. Tiwari, spoke about strengths at length. We have strengths, we have opportunities. But strengths and opportunities are outpassed by threats and weaknesses. So how to convert those weaknesses into opportunities and opportunities into strengths is a critical factor. We'll talk about that because Gen Z has to do that. It's important for you, young friends. So I'll skip some of the slides already done by my fellow colleague. India can cater to almost every kind of tourist to meet expectation. But still we are focusing 76% of domestic tourism is on spirituality and religion. Why we are not able to promote, market any other kind of tourism than religion? Probably we know we are weak on our sentiments. We know we are weak on our pulses. We are impulsive. We know in Uttar Pradesh what happened. How Uttar Pradesh in my slide has become number 1, whereas it was number 2 in the previous years. Thanks to spiritual tourism, thanks to spirituality, thanks to religious tourism. Mahakumbh we have all seen how Mahakumbh has actually attracted domestic visits from all over the country. Of course, pan-world. We know that. So we are impulsive. But then, if I am impulsive, my pulses just do not indicate religious indicators, they just don't indicate spiritual indicators, they also indicate mice. They also indicate health. They also indicate wildlife. Let me tell you, today India has 76% of tigers. And each tiger can bring in $75,000. As per the latest statistics revealed, we have approximately 3,700 tigers. And the numbers are improving 20% year on year. And each tiger can bring revenue worth $75,000 per annum. Why are we not able to capture it? I echo the sentiments of my fellow panelist, Mr. Tiwari. The connectivity is a problem. 500 new air routes are developed, 150 airports are operational, 150,000 road network is developed. But where is the connectivity? How are they actually connected, coordinated? There lies the problem. Where is that super app digitally? Mugdha ma'am said digital. Because this is digital generation G. They only understand mobile phone. If I go by a survey done by booking.com, echoed by Accenture, Make My Trip, that says 76% of the bookings done today by 100 million people who represent this age is using mobile phone. 86% of the bookings done today by these Gen Z and millennials is on mobile phone. They are spending 4 weeks extra on search. These all data are published. They are spending 4 weeks extra in searching for influencers. Who are the influencers? I am using influencers for Indonesia. I am using influencers reviews on any international destination, but I am not doing it for domestic. Why? Probably I am not able to capture this market. I need to capture this market, which is the backbone. Rightly use the term in the morning session, backbone. When we were striving to sustain in the market, domestic tourism sustained us. I am talking about pandemic age. Domestic tourism actually sustained us. Most of the inbound, outbound operators moved to domestic because domestic tourism has a strength to sustain us. But still it is missing the attention of everyone. Why? Very interesting. It needs very careful analysis. I think my fellow panelist has already done it. Diverse cultural and natural attractions, 40 UNESCO heritage sites. But how many of them are actually known by us, known to us? He referred to Italy, Spain, France, Germany, China. They form part of the curriculum. They form the part of the curriculum right from the elementary education. I do not know how many of us know in this hall the UNESCO heritage sites and what is their importance. Until when they can remain heritage? Today there are threats to many heritage sites, sir. They may be delisted because we are not able to maintain the sanctity, the cleanliness, the beauty of the monument. In some UNESCO heritage sites, even we have carried out the renovation. There is habitation. So it's a challenge. So I have to sensitize the local population of that particular area where UNESCO heritage site is located. Please maintain the originality of the monument, the site, whether it is a movable site or an immovable site. But we have to maintain the originality of that particular site. Great. Competitive pricing. Today I see hundreds of ads in newspaper, in print media, electronic media, travel to Thailand, travel to Indonesia, travel to XYG. But how many of them are for domestic tourism? When I book a flight from here to Goa, I find it's more expensive than flying from here to Bangkok. So I'll prefer Bali, I'll prefer Bangkok, then flying to Goa, Trivandrum, Gangtok, Guwahati. We have to think about it to promote domestic tourism. Competitive pricing is there, but then it's a challenge also. Growing middle class and new middle class. I am using a term new middle class because that term is used by our Honorable Prime Minister. 25 crore people are, oh my God, I